welcome to another episode of The Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. By now, I imagine you've seen footage of Angel Reese refusing to answer a reporter's question, dismissing him rather bluntly, I might add. I heard about it and saw footage of it a couple days ago, and I've thought about it here and there. I didn't want to just jump in and say something. I know that there are other people who've been talking about it. As usual, I didn't get dialed into what other people had to say because, like I said, I thought about it here and there. I want to know, okay, why did she not answer the question? Why was it like she was so dismissive of the question? But then today I had the thought, we don't even know what the full question was. We never got to hear the question. So I know when it comes to Angel Reese, a lot of people are going to be talking about Angel Reese, what Angel Reese says, what Angel Reese doesn't say, etc. But I'm like, well, what was the reporter going to say? Because she obviously took it as something negative, but maybe it wasn't. Like, we never heard the full question. We kind of get the idea of where he's going, but really he just sort of laid the foundation for the question. And I just think that there were other ways that she could have handled a question she didn't want to answer. It's like, well, is this one of those Kennedy Carter moments? I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions. Or is there something more to it? So let's first take a look at what the reporter tries to ask her. And then we're going to go to a video clip of what he's referring to. And then we'll pull it all together as best we can. I'm over at the New York Post. The headline is Angel Reese cuts off Caitlin Clark question with WNBA season set to begin. And I'm going to go down to this X post. Still want to say tweet, X post.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question?
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you.
So we see here where he got cut off, and it's interesting because you can see her countenance change right here as she's about to take the question. There's a smile on her face. At some point, that smile is going to go away. Let's see.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason
smiling.
People are watching women's basketball is not just because.
And she acknowledges, if you notice that when he refers to last year, you said you made a powerful statement. She kind of blinks and it's a slight nod, but she does not. All right. She went from the smile, she's smiling, then she's going to go to the acknowledgement of what he said, the slight nod, but then she's done.
A powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're?
And then you can see the whole countenance change. Okay, and you can just see the roll of the eyes. Next question. The lip goes up, really, and then she kind of sniffs, and she is done.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you two. A year later, do you feel like you're?
Next question.
Yeah.
So as a reminder, let's go to last year and what he's referring to. We'll go to WNBA Got Game on X. We'll just take a look at a little bit of this.
And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. It all starts.
So that's what he's referring to, as you know, I imagine. A year ago, she said, we got celebrities pulling up at games, got people watching games, and I want y'all to realize that it's not just about one player, meaning Caitlin Clark. It's about me too. There are other people who've done this, and yeah, it's about me too. I know I'll go down in history 20 years from now, etc. So he starts off by saying, you made a powerful statement last year. You said the reason why people were watching women's basketball is because of me too. A year later, next question. Why? First of all, what? Like, what was he going to ask her? She obviously assumed that it was a negative. Maybe he was going to say, when he was going to say, do you still feel that way? Do you want to retract what you said? He's called it a powerful statement. I don't know. He might say a year later, as you look back at what you have accomplished with the rebounding of the WNBA season, with the championship and unrivaled. I mean, it could have been an incredible moment for, we know how the media are concerning Angel Reese. So it could have been extremely positive. It could have been like, you've done this and you get to do all these other things that draw attention. And so a year later, as you reflect on that, how close do you feel you've gotten to making history as a person people want to watch and people want to follow? I mean, we don't know, and perhaps we'll never know what he was going to say, because she immediately put the brakes on, which tells me that, number one, she assumed it was negative, or number two, she knows that she doesn't have the drawing power that Caitlin Clark has. She said they're watching because of me too. The numbers don't really bear out a lot of people watching when you compare that to a Caitlin Clark. She doesn't have that drawing power. Is that what she was afraid to have to deal with, to have to touch, because she knows that it hasn't exactly panned out in that way? When you look at people coming into arenas, when you look at people watching on television, maybe she just felt like, well, that wasn't true, and I can't say it's true. It didn't pan out. But I'm going to say this. She missed an opportunity. Whatever her reason is, maybe she just thought, I'm not participating in, I sent negativity, but we don't really know, because he didn't finish. She didn't let him finish. But maybe she sensed negativity and she's just like, I'm not having any of that. I don't want to get down with that. I don't want to. But I still feel like she missed an opportunity, because this is a prime time for the WNBA. As we know, everybody's talking about the CBA. Everybody's talking about the season about to start. She and Caitlin Clark will meet up 5 times this year. Not that that's really, I mean, that's not really the rivalry as far as I'm concerned. It's never really been. When you look at basketball, when you look at the positions they play, when you look at the skill level, whatever. But in people's minds, it's a rivalry. So okay, right? It just seems to me that with that buzz, with the upcoming season, with the buzz of women's basketball right now, with the fact that people are talking about the WNBA, and this is what she said she was going to be a huge part of. Why? Next question, with such negativity, why not let them finish the question so that you can know whether you don't want that question or not? And then why not make your positive statement about how you have been a part of this wave in women's basketball? I mean, there's so many different ways that she could have approached that, to say, whatever. I don't know what the question was. I don't know. Maybe he was going to say, do you want to take that back? Do you still feel like, people are watching because of you, whatever? She could have totally taken that the positive way. And with all the eyeballs on you, and with the season about to start, and with all the movement in the WNBA, use it and say, assuming he asked, do you still feel that way? Absolutely. I feel that way. It's so exciting. So I meet so many young girls, because, people on the streets, they recognize Angel Reese. There are people who, she's so cool. I mean, we can't deny that, right? I don't know that translates into butts and seats and things like that, but she didn't have to go there. All she had to do was say, it's been such an exciting time. I got my first year behind me, and we're seeing growth in the WNBA. And I'm so glad to be a part of what's going on, that I'm here at this time, and the most exciting time for the WNBA. And I get to be a part of that, along with all the other women who have helped make the league grow. And, that's what she obviously believes, that so many people have helped this league to grow. It didn't have to be a negative. It didn't have to be next question. even if she felt like, oh, I want to avoid the negativity, I'm not doing that. Just you've got to look at this is where we talk about media training. This is when I say and I'm not talking about blowing smoke. Like some people are like, well, why should she blow smoke? Just, why should she? It's business. It's an opportunity. And if you truly feel that you have played a part in people being interested in the game, little girls perhaps picking up a basketball for the first time, whatever the case may be, then that's your opportunity to say, yeah, I'm so excited. But you can also, you don't have to be disingenuous. I mean, you can also say, but I haven't even reached the surface of the impact that I would like to have in the league. But I absolutely stand by what I said, because I meet people everywhere and they're talking about the WNBA, and I get to be a part of that. And so absolutely it's really exciting, and I look forward to how it's going to grow even more and how I get to be a part of it. And all of that, I believe, is truthful, right? Isn't it? From her perspective, I mean, only she can really answer that question, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a negative thing unless she really is like, I'm not moving the needle at all, and nobody is interested in me at all, and I just was wrong. I mean, maybe she felt that way and didn't want to deal with it. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I feel like whatever her reason, she missed an opportunity. And she made it negative when he wasn't necessarily going to be negative. I mean, he starts off by saying, you made a powerful statement. So we don't really necessarily know that he was trying to be negative. So I think you got to take a step back. That goes to show that there's some touchiness there that she's uncomfortable with. Even her mom, if you recall, or maybe you haven't even heard, people were talking about who showed up for the Chicago Sky playing Brazil versus who showed up for the Indiana Fever playing Brazil. And Angel Reese's mama got into it and said that certain fan base, which is not advisable to get into that, but her mom went in there and said that fan base, more attention to attendance, where instead of championships. Well, that attendance is what your daughter talked about when she went to that interview and that press conference or whatever a year ago. So is she backing down now, and that's not important anymore, and she's not the reason why people are watching? Maybe it was a sore subject for her. I don't know, but I think there were other ways that she can handle it. And I know some of you are going to listen to this and it's going to be your cue to jump in and totally demolish Angel Reese, because I know that's what some people do. That's not why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying because I spent a couple days thinking about it. I didn't jump in and just say something and I didn't piggyback off of what somebody else said. I took my own time without other people's input. I just kind of think about it. And I think that she's got to get that sore subject issue taken care of so that she can be a positive voice. First of all, let the man speak. Second of all, if you really believe that people are watching because of you, then say that. And there's certain ways of saying that. I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the whole thing. Lots of people talking about it and writing about it, etc. I see from headlines and titles, etc. But it certainly will make things interesting come Saturday for the Indiana Fever Chicago Sky matchup, one of 5, I believe, this season. So I'm here for it. I intend to go live for it, God willing, and I hope you are hanging out with me. Let's blow the roof off things. It's time to get down to the nitty gritty. So Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Indiana Fever, Chicago Sky, Stephanie White, Tyler Marsh. We can go on, but it's going to be basketball. All right. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Hey, like button also. It really helps with the algorithm. I really appreciate you all. And I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.